Push the button. Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button. You heard what she said.
Twitch. Make sure you're following me. Make sure you're donating. Make sure you're doing all the things that I would expect you to do when you come to my channel and witness this greatness, because this greatness is not free. I'm not one of these streamers or one of these content creators where I'm going to be giving out my content for free. No, you people are going to have to pay for this content. This content is too amazing to be given away for free. So if you refuse to support, then I refuse to make this amazing content. So make sure you idiots are supporting. You're liking the videos. You're following me on Twitch. You're doing what you're supposed to do as a viewer, because a lot of you don't do what you're supposed to do. You're nothing but morons. So make sure you are supporting, or this amazing content will disappear.
How are you consuming this free entertainment? Like, how do you think free entertainment is available to you? It's because other people actually provide money so you can be a cheap ass. That's it. Other people provide money because they're generous and they see like a thing that they want to support, a form of entertainment they want to support, and then you leech. Well, that's the reality of it, period. Period. If you're watching Twitch as a non-donating, non-sub, you are leeching.
Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Darkside Phil, and I literally moments ago just completed my playthrough of Kingdom Hearts. I have a lot to say about this game, but I don't really want to harp on many things too long. So what I'm going to do is try to compartmentalize my opinions on the game and give you full disclosure when I review this game, because I think this is one of the games people have wanted me to review more than any other game recently, and I haven't done reviews for like a year, so I'm actually going out of my comfort zone to kind of do this. At the same time, I feel like I should talk publicly about this game because I'm someone who did not grow up with the Kingdom Hearts game. Then people were like, uh-oh, but Phil, you're not going to play all the spin-offs, all the other games in the series. How are you going to understand the plot? To which I said, I don't know. Quite frankly, I don't care, because I want to play the numbered installments in a franchise, right? And it's okay if there's supplementary materials, but for me to play a numbered entry in a franchise, and you're going to tell me I'm not going to understand the plot at all because I didn't play 5 more spin-off games that would cost a ton of money and be a huge time investment, that's ridiculous. And I've been saying that all along, like, that's going to be on Square Enix if Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out and you play it and you can't understand the plot. Because there's going to be people just like me who haven't played 7 other games and are going to want to play this game. Will they understand it and have fun with it? Fan service to those who have played all the other Kingdom Hearts games. I'm not saying by any means it's not a game that you cannot play if you haven't played them all. It's absolutely 100% accessible and fully playable if you haven't played a Kingdom Hearts game ever before. The problem is you will have no fucking clue what's going on in this game. Your mind will be melting out of your ears. Characters are coming out of left and right. You don't know who they are. They have nothing to do with the characters you're controlling. There's cutscenes upon cutscenes upon cutscenes upon cutscenes, and you'll be like, what the hell is going on, man? So I really feel the reason they made this game was because they wanted to have a culmination game for those who were huge fans of the series, not necessarily to advance the series or even to introduce the series to a new audience, which, by the way, doesn't really make sense when you play the game. And the reason I say that is because the game is the easiest game in the Kingdom Hearts franchise, at least the numbered entries. Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 are way more challenging than this game. They require you to learn things like timed dodges, blocking, and counterattacks. You don't ever need to use those in Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, for full clarification, I played it on the standard difficulty. Standard difficulty is meant to be the default gaming experience that the game developer expects you to pick and play when you play any video game. Yes, this game has a proud mode, which is considered hard mode. From hardcore fans of Kingdom Hearts, I've been told proud mode also is pretty easy. Especially if you're a longtime fan, you've played all the games, it's going to be easy for you anyway. So in general, there seems to be a consensus among people who play this game. It's too easy, alright? But on standard mode, this game is piss fucking easy. Ladies and gentlemen, I've only played Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. I only died once through the entire fucking game. I didn't die at all to the final bosses. The whole final ending of the game where there's gauntlets of bosses and the like, I didn't die once. I mean, and I'm not very good at these games at all. It's not like Phil was a master. He was dodging and parrying, healing perfectly. I wasn't. I was kind of flubbing my way through it. I mean, that's a testament to how fucking easy the game is, alright? So, Kingdom Hearts 3 does follow the formula of the first two games. You're going to be going through this central hub world in a gummy ship, which is a ship that you build, and in this time it's better than any other time in the Kingdom Hearts series. It's not just a time killer, it's actually an open world area. You're flying around in a spaceship, and you can collect items like money, which is the currency of the game, or you can level up your ship by grabbing experience points for it, and the like. And there's a whole big side content minigame thing just flying the gummy ship through the central hub of the game. But what you're going to do is be flying this around through different Disney worlds. Worlds like Monsters, Inc., or Hercules' Mount Olympus, or Frozen, the world of Frozen, Arendelle, stuff like that. And each world is unique, and each world is different. In some of these worlds, Sora and the party, Donald and Goofy, who reprise their roles as Sora's kind of helpers or teammates as he goes on these adventures, they're going to be transforming. So you go to Monsters, Inc., you turn into monsters. You go to the Toy Story, you look like toys. That's really cool. At the same time, there's a real big amount of worlds. I mean, there's Tangled, Frozen. I mean, I guess you could say Pirates, because Pirates of the Caribbean, technically, you're just a human in a pirate outfit. Big Hero 6, there's multiple worlds where you don't transform into anything. And it's kind of disappointing, because one of the big gimmicks of the original Kingdom Hearts games was you go to a unique Disney world, you transform into a character from that world, and you're almost never doing that in this game. It's like half the time you're actually not. The worlds also are very hit or miss in this game. So I think there's 8. Let me think about this. I'm going to try to go in order here. Hercules, Toy Story, Tangled, Monsters, Inc., Frozen, Pirates of the Caribbean, Big Hero 6. 7 worlds? Did I miss one? Oh, I guess you could technically say the 100-Acre Wood with Winnie the Pooh is also the 8th world, even though it literally lasts 20 minutes. You could beat it super fast. So 8 worlds, and in each world, they're very different. Like, for example, you'll go into the Toy Story world. Wow, the plot line is that the owner of the toys has vanished, and now the toys are wondering what's going on. So they go to the toy store, and you're fighting all kinds of fun toys that are being controlled by the Heartless, which are the longtime villains of this series. You'll be fighting giant robots, big dinosaurs, little toy tops and stuff, dolls, fun stuff. It's a really cool original world. Then you'll go to the Tangled world, and you're in a forest. You're fighting monkeys in a forest, which doesn't even make sense because monkeys don't live in fucking forests, they live in jungles. You're fighting monkeys, and like it's uninspired and boring. And that's kind of the feeling I had as a fan of Disney, and not necessarily a fan of the plotline of Kingdom Hearts, but coming into this as a fan of Disney, having seen all the movies in the game, half the time you're bored to tears, okay? And half the time you're having fun. I would say out of all the worlds, Toy Story, I say Big Hero 6 is the best, because Big Hero 6 actually is like a big virtual city, almost like Spider-Man. You could scale these buildings, you could fly. It's like playing Prototype or Infamous, where you could fly around the city, look for hidden items, fight generic parties of enemies. You're doing fun stuff against bosses and stuff in the city, and that's pretty cool. Toy Story, I already told you, is really cool. I would say Pirates of the Caribbean was much better than the Pirates in Kingdom Hearts 2 this time around. It actually has an open world map where you can sail a ship and do naval battles a la Assassin's Creed, only really watered down easy naval battles. So those are pretty good. But some of these worlds, Tangled, Frozen, oh my god. Monsters, Inc. was the biggest disappointment for me because I really liked that franchise and that movie. All you do is wander around the corridors of a factory. You never do anything else. It's boring. And it's like, man, they really could have done a lot better. Why wasn't every stage unique and interesting like Big Hero 6 was? Instead, you get like 3 worlds that are really good and like 5 worlds or 4 worlds that are boring. And that's not good. You're looking for a balance, and you don't get that balance. The combat of the game, oh, man. Well, you know what? Before we get to the combat, let's talk about world exploration. This is one of the major positives of Kingdom Hearts 3. One of the previous criticisms that I had about the worlds is they could be very repetitive and grindy. This time around, the worlds are open where you can explore. So, for example, you go to Mount Olympus with Hercules. Not only are you going through a destroyed town that's been wrecked by the Heartless, but then you're actually going to go up a mountain and fight the 3 titans from the actual movie, and then you actually go to the top of Mount Olympus where all the gods are. It's really cool. It's open world exploration. You can go through optional areas and paths and find chests and stuff. It's never really been like that before. It's been very linear, and so they actually did make it kind of interesting and better in that regard. I actually felt that the world design was better. But when you're going into boring as hell worlds like Tangled, wow, we're running through a forest for like an hour and a half, and then you finally get to the town, you spend like 20 minutes there, and then it's over. And you're like, Wow, that was fun. Frozen, talk about a disappointment. You never even go to Arendelle. In Frozen, you go up the mountain, down the mountain, up the mountain, down the mountain, up the mountain, down the mountain, boss fight, it's over. What the hell? So, even though the world design, in my opinion, is dramatically improved from the other Kingdom Hearts games, the overall experience of most of the worlds is underwhelming, okay? Now let's talk about the combat. The most watered-down combat I've ever experienced in any RPG, period. I mean that. And I played Final Fantasy, oh god, what was it called back in the day? They had a mainstream Final Fantasy, not Crystal Chronicles, not Tactics, those are good games. There was a spin-off Final Fantasy game, alright, that was made in the 1990s, that was meant to be a kiddie game, alright? You had Final Fantasy 2, 3, and 4 that were the mainstream games coming out for the Super NES, Super Famicom. But then you had this one that was yes, Mystic Quest, thank you. This game, Kingdom Hearts 3, is the Final Fantasy Mystic Quest of Kingdom Hearts. It's meant to be for people who don't know how to play the series to easily jump in and win easily. It's watered down to holy hell, alright? All you need to do is mash buttons to win. Very rarely do you need to do anything else but mash the attack button, which is X on the PlayStation. Just keep mashing. It'll do endless combos. All of a sudden, after mashing for a while, a prompt will pop up saying, oh, you have a special thing saved up. It could be a special attack that you saved up. It could be a transformation of your Keyblade. It could be something, you know, just insanely over the top. And one of the new things they added to this game are called the attractions. These are supposed to be representations of rides at the actual Disney theme parks. So you've got the merry-go-round that spins. It just has waves of damage hitting the enemies. And you have to do a timed button press to destroy all the enemies. You've got the teacups that spin insanely and hit everything on the screen. You've got the splash ride where you're on a raft and it bounces around on a water tread and just hits everything on the screen. One where you get inside of a bumper car with a gun and you shoot the fuck out of everything in front of you like this. And it's insane. Like, not only do the graphics look crazy during these segments, but they're insanely overpowered. They will clear the fucking screen. They will win boss fights for you. They're just so broken, okay? And most people who've actually played this game are actually saying they wish they were in the game because they were so overpowered. But you also have team-up attacks with your team. So, you know, Donald and Goofy will have team-up attacks that you do with them. And then also, like I said, the Keyblade transformation. You know, get one or two combos with the Keyblade. Oh, activate. Now your Keyblade transforms into claws or a giant, you know, projectiles flying everywhere. And then if you charge those up, you have a big finisher move that you can do. It's neat the first few times you do it, but once you've gotten to like the second or third world in the game, you very much realize it's not going to get any better. You've seen the extent of what the combat is. It's very much just button mashing and destroying insanely huge hordes of enemies because there's no reason to do anything else. I played on standard difficulty. I'm not even going to exaggerate, guys. I never locked on actively to any enemy. The game auto-targets every enemy near you and everything gets obliterated within seconds, okay? I never blocked an attack and I never parried or countered an attack the entire game. I didn't have to. I could just mash the fucking button and beat everything. Now, the only exceptions would be the very end of the game. Some of the final bosses are a little bit challenging where you need to dodge a little bit. Outside of that, I never did anything else. I never even locked onto a fucking enemy and I steamrolled the game. So if that doesn't explain how easy this game is compared to the previous Kingdom Hearts games, I don't know how else to explain it. And the thing that gets me is, why did they do that? Because I could understand if you were saying, oh, we want to make it accessible to more people. Fine, but you didn't make the game accessible. The plot is so convoluted and confusing. You bring in so many supplemental characters from all the other spin-off games from Kingdom Hearts. Even if you just played Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, if you played 3, you have no clue what's going on. So you didn't. You made the gameplay accessible, but you didn't make the game accessible. If they really were going to make a hardcore fan service game for the fans of Kingdom Hearts, this game should have been harder. This game should have had challenging combat, more things that were needed to win, less crutches like the transformations and shit. It should have been harder and more difficult. And I rarely would ask for a harder game, but I can completely understand a longtime fan of Kingdom Hearts playing this and be like, what the fuck happened? Why is it so easy? I don't understand why it's so fucking easy. How can it be accessible to the masses, but then the masses don't get it because the plot makes no sense because they didn't play 7 other games? So the game itself is a walking contradiction. And I'm going to be very honest here. I don't think this game holds a candle to other RPGs that I've played recently, just for that reason. I think that Kingdom Hearts 3 is a game that if you're a longtime fan of the series, this game ties up pretty much all the major plot points. Whether you play Chain of Memories, Birth by Sleep, Dream Drop Distance, Death by Chocolate, or whatever fucking Kingdom Hearts game you've played, this game will tie up the plot lines from it. All those characters are in it, and you get all your answers. But is it satisfying to have to go through a super easy game to get that? I don't know. So I don't know if it's going to satisfy the hardcore fans. For casuals, by mashing a button to just win the whole game, is that fun? Not really. And then on top of that, you don't even understand the plot of the game. So it seems to me this game doesn't really successfully satisfy the needs of whether the newcomer casuals or the hardcore fans at all. It seems to be an underwhelming disappointment for most people. I honestly don't know. Ultimately, the game's not bad. But I would say if you're a hardcore fan of Kingdom Hearts and you were looking for all of the plot points to be tied up, that's all you cared about, this game's like a 9 or a 10 out of 10. But if you were looking for a well-balanced game with challenging combat that advanced the series and pushed it in the right direction gameplay-wise, and also your story resolution, you didn't get that at all, the game's probably like a 7. And then for someone who maybe outside of the franchise wants just a game that's fun to mash with but doesn't understand anything, the game's probably also like a 7 out of 10 because you need to understand the plot and you don't playing this game. So ultimately, I would say unless you're the most hardcore fan who's been really waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3 so adamantly and you've wanted every moment of the past 13 years you've waited for the game, finally it's here and you get all your plot answers, it's like a 9 or 10 out of 10 because you finally got that culmination of what you were looking for plot-wise. But as a game with gameplay, this game doesn't hold a candle to games like Dragon Quest XI that I just played last year. That game's probably 2 to 3 times as good as this game when it comes to gameplay. It's just, this game is pathetic in that regard, and I don't understand what the hell they were thinking. Who were they trying to target this for? It wasn't the casuals because they don't get the plot, and it wasn't the hardcore fans because the game's too easy for them. So you made a game that satisfies no one, and that's why ultimately I think this game's about a 7 out of 10. And that's my honest opinion on it. Being someone who is not a hardcore, maybe if I were a hardcore fan, I was
shut up.
All the plot.
Yeah, I am liking the game story. I'm liking the game
going nuts during the climax of this game. I would have given it a 9 or 10 out of 10, but I can't
recently,
sit
that's
here
for sure.
and tell you.
And
that
so
this
far the
game
story's
is worth
interesting,
playing.
so
And quite frankly, it's not.
Kingdom Hearts
It's not.
3.
The one
Did I love
big,
the game?
shining, awesome
No.
thing about this
The
game
last
were the
1 to
graphics
2
for me.
sessions
The graphics ran
of
at a
Kingdom Hearts
hybrid
3
between
for
30
me
and 60 frames
were
per
pretty
second.
much getting
and they were
unbearable to the
really
point where
nice.
I was like, this
the
really
Disney
is
characters
boring
were
as shit. I
represented
can't wait
really
for
nice in
10.
full 3D. A lot of the times you're playing the game, you're like, this looks like the movie. It looks like I'm actually watching the fucking movie.
Shut
The
up.
detail of the graphics was so good.
Last
Outside of that,
play, what is this? What the
I didn't
fuck
have
is
fun
this?
with the combat, and the plot was confusing. So for me, it's a 7 out of 10. Maybe for you guys, it's
Fuck
something
you!
better. But for me, that's my honest opinion, and that's my review. All right. Thank you guys for watching.
God.
Appreciate it, and
E-girls
see you
and
later.
thoughts. We all know the memes around them. Donate buttons, 12-year-old fans, hi baby voices, webcams taking 80% of the screen, white knights, Patreons. These memes are a thing for a reason, whether we like it or not. These types of girls are rampant on the internet, sucking money out of young boys, or girls, though I'm inclined to think more so boys that just hit puberty and don't know what Pornhub is. Let me address some comments I'm going to get them out of the way now. No, I'm not making this because I'm jealous. No, I do not believe because I am a woman that I should be lifting up other women just because they have a vag. No, that does not mean I hate all women. Yes, I do have photos of myself. I am not hiding my face because I am self-conscious. Yes, I am generalizing, but I will explain further later on. So with that out of the way, let me just say what I want to say. Stop supporting thots who are scamming you. I'll give some examples. Belle Delphine, the trending thought, has a Patreon. What do you get for paying her? Basically, nothing. You get nothing that could not be found on the internet. Seriously, just look up Belle Delphine on her Reddit and you will find her linked pictures from Patreon. You don't need to spend $50 a month on shitty, overfiltered nudes. Also, she doesn't do nudes, so you won't even get the benefit of seeing her nips or vag. It's the same shit she posts on her Instagram. Another thing to mention, I know it seems shitty looking up things that people post on Patreon, but the girl's literally scamming people with the quality of her rewards and those prices. Say what you want, but $50 for selfies and a Snapchat invite is insane. I mean, you have to pay $1,000 for a Skype call and $2,500 for, well, you don't know until you message her. How is that not a scam? Anyways, my opinion. Look up any other thought and it's the same things. I don't know about you guys, but spending $50 to get a picture that you can just search up is just, why? Again, if you want to, go ahead, but I personally don't understand. $50 can get you a new game, a few lunches. If you're a producer like me, you can get a nice VST. I just don't understand it. Before you say, well, they're attractive, I mean, I don't know. Are they? Hear me out. Their photos are filtered to hell and back. Let me show you something really fun. Let's take a picture off of the internet and put it in an app. Snow or Meitu will work, and bam, 2 minutes later, super kawaii perfect girl. You want to go further? Liquefy and slim the nose and thighs down. This takes like 5 minutes, super easy. If you don't care about that, that's fine, but don't come at me saying they're attractive when most of them are filtered and photoshopped to death. I'm not trying to shame at all, but look at these comparisons. You just cannot achieve this without filters or Photoshop. I personally love unfiltered photos. I think the girls are beautiful and should embrace that, but they are not what they're making themselves out to be at all, and that is a problem. They're selling products that are not real, setting up a fantasy that other girls would compare themselves to, and horny guys will buy into. Again, I'm not shaming, they can use these filters all they want, but they absolutely know that they are manipulating people with it and are selling something that's not real. Not only that, but they can filter their video and streams too. There are plenty of videos showing how much of a difference these filters make. Now, the next excuse I've seen is they aren't like porn stars or they're more like normal girls. No, they're just good at manipulating and they aren't as transparent as porn stars. Porn stars, you know what you're getting, it's porn, which is fantastic. With thots and e-girls, there's this sort of belief that they're more real when in reality they're putting on even more of a show. They know the tactics. Get the makeup, get the filters, get the yoga pants and somewhat revealing but not too much clothes so that no one can call you out for being too revealing. The ones that don't show cleavage will step all over the girls that do to try and shove this I'm down to earth narrative to continue manipulating their fans. Treat the fans like friends or potential boyfriends, keep them on a hook so they'll keep coming back. And now you might be thinking, they can wear whatever they want. And you'd be right. This is where it gets into the manipulation area. They know this. They know people will defend this. It's all these attributes together that makes an e-girl so successful. They can manipulate all of these things to keep white knights around them, as well as thirsty young boys who think they have a chance with them. Unfortunately for them, they don't have a chance. Every person who's watching them is a paycheck in their eyes. They act sweet, kind, bubbly, not like other girls, to get paid, and that's it. Sometimes they'll even pretend not to have a boyfriend. This is something we've seen a lot as well, just to keep that innocent allure and to keep men baited. I know I'm using Belle a lot, but a picture just came out of her and her alleged boyfriend. Turns out, if she's telling the truth, it isn't her boyfriend, but damn was she fast to respond to that one. I wonder why. I'm no angel. I've acted flirty with a guy just to get an extra fry at a restaurant. I knew exactly what I was doing. These girls are just doing it online around thousands, and instead of fries, they get straight up money. The tough question is, where is the line between a girl who is confident and just wants to play games and an e-girl or a thought, because e-girls are so good at manipulating that it's hard to tell sometimes. This is where you guys have to make a decision. What kind of attitude do they have? Are you okay with it being fake? Do they seem like they are using you? It all comes down to what you think. As I've stated before though, things like Patreons that seem like scams, constant ubu language, not wanting to be seen without a filter, generally defensive and manipulative behavior, pretending they don't have a boyfriend, no other hobbies besides selfies and streaming, there are signs to look out for. Basically, review the product before purchasing. Okay, that sounded pretty bad, but just be careful who you support. For thoughts like Belle, just look up her photos or go to Pornhub, Jelboru, XNXX, general porn sites, I don't care. You don't have to waste $50 to $2,500 on her. Even use the snow filter on your favorite porn star to get her to look like a flawless anime girl. You do you, but you don't need to spend that much money. You really don't. And girls, I haven't addressed you a lot, but don't be afraid of the stigma these types of females have made. If you're not like them, or you don't want to be like them, then don't and continue doing you. If you are true to yourself and enjoy playing games, have fun. You'll create a fan base who loves you for who you are. You don't have to lie to yourself or pretend to be perfect to be successful. Anyways, this was just a mini rant. In the end, it's up to you guys what you think, but these are my thoughts. I know it's a meme, but these types of girls do make it hard for others to be taken seriously, and I do have a personal dislike for them. I am biased, I'll be the first to admit. That's why I'm making this video. There are so many wonderful female creators out there. If you guys have any you recommend, please put them down below. Have a great week, guys.